I think we're live. Hi guys, it's CryptoCommons English channel, and we have a special guest today. It's Joe Sass. Hi bro, thank you for coming.
Yeah, of course, pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Today we're gonna look at Bitcoin market in general, and maybe some altcoins, and also speak about indicators, especially TRDR, order book, and others we use in our trading. And also we'll have a look at our trading competition on Deepcoin exchange, how it's going on. So Joe, we can start from your screen if it's okay for you, because we just finished our live on Russian channel. We spoke with Tom Weiss, maybe join later. What do you thinking about markets now? Please
I'll jump
me.
to screen share right away, and we'll get the party started over here. All right, so sorry, what was that?
Yeah, what order book is telling us? Please tell me. Please tell us.
Yeah, so the order book is this is what I'm seeing right now, and just looking at the order book itself, let's pretend I didn't have any signals. Excuse me. We'd have a lot of sell side liquidity that's been building up, and we have some serious buyers that have been chasing the run up. So you can see that we had one support signal at 50,772, and we've been getting some consistent sell signals in the 52,000 range. So we're in a really tight range right now. I mean, we're talking a $2,000 range, which for now is kind of tight. So I'm thinking if this is a bull market, what I'm seeing is this is exactly what a bull market would need. It would need sell side liquidity to build up, so that the whales or whoever that are there to pump price and absorb all that, absorb this liquidity with minimal slippage. So I really do like what I'm seeing here, this nice buildup of liquidity, because we have consistently broken through resistance over and over and over again. And not only that, but we've managed to have a number of buyers chase the book and create support as we make this run. So in my head, if this is a bull market, which it has been for quite some time, and we've had our bullish moments and our bearish moments, but if we're going to keep that bullish trajectory, this is exactly what these big players, these ETF dudes, like BlackRock, Fidelity, and so forth, would be looking for. They'd be looking for the retail investors to start planting their exits, and then that would minimize the slippage. So you can see, just for a $1,500 price to the upside, it would be 1,400 Bitcoin. That's $75 million or so. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for now. It's if this is truly a situation where the bullishness has taken over, and we're the bull market's off, and we're heading to the moon, this is the kind of thing that they would be looking for. That's the argument in my eyes for the most bullish case scenario. The other thing is that whales aren't here to save the day. And so one of the things that you do also see in markets is a scenario where they plant their seeds down low, and they exhaust the sellers for a little while, as we did, and then we go sideways. They plant their seeds, and they just let sellers believe that it's a top again, so that sellers will start pecking at these orders. And we saw that happen a little bit ago. Stuff like this, where particularly stuff like this moved down into the 40K range when we were in the moved down to the high 30s, low 40s, when we had just gotten the ETF approved. This whole section, in my eyes, was and the signals just got pulled. There's some sort of data error, but there was a lot of triple confluence support here, a lot of overlays, 1 to 2.1 to 2.5, 2.5 to 5, and 5 to 10. All lit up down here. So I think this was the area where they wanted sellers to get hyped on the news, dump their it didn't go to 65K like everyone was thinking, so people started dumping bags, and this is where they were waiting for the market to aggregate. So this is the kind of stuff that I would also expect to see if we're in a situation where big players and white collar traditional style traders are involved in the market. So there's definitely two bullish sides to the coin. It's just that one requires a small pullback, and one requires in order for them to get their orders filled, wash out a few sellers, and then let the books stack up so that they can start market buying with minimal slippage. And the other one is just to allow the market to build up that sell side liquidity from a period of going sideways, and then take in all those orders with minimal slippage as well. So to me, I'm seeing a bullish case scenario or a bullish case scenario. Just one requires a pullback.
Yeah, Tom was speaking recently about time correction on Russian channel. You know, like we don't see a price correction, but we see time correction now on Bitcoin. And he also said that he doesn't believe in 30K more if we go higher from now. Like maybe we will not drop to 30K. Maybe it will be 40K or something like this. So now you mean that you're on the bull side, or which like how deep the correction could be, or how deep correction you're waiting for?
Yeah, at this point, I would think 50K is probably going to hold pretty well. I like the high 40s. We're in a tight space up here with price moving sideways, but what I would be waiting for is Giga trying to fire off a long signal. That's going to really have me bullish for the next strong move up. But right now, I think our pullback would be pretty minimal. Right now, it's cutting in at just under 50K, 49.9 something. And you could see in the book, we have one of our largest walls at 51,000. And, so we have a heavy bit of support blocking sellers from dumping their bags heavily. And then we have our moving average cutting up right into this, nice little aggregation of buyers, 166, 98, and obviously all the buyers in between. So to me, I think a pullback, it wouldn't be very heavy from here. I mean, we still have some big dudes in the market. You can see the size of these buy orders are still pretty significant, more so than the sellers. So
okay, so you mean bullish dump, a little bullish dump.
Yeah, a little support
in percentage, how much it can be? Like 10, 20, 30%? What do you think?
Like 2.5, more like less than 5%. So taking like 3% right now.
Okay. You mean like local intraday charting? But if we zoom out, Joe, where is your moving average now? What is this?
Yeah,
average?
this is right now at 49,900.
Yeah, maybe I'm talking about like a midterm correction, which we can see before halving or after halving. What do you think? Deep it could be?
I would say I like this area. I think it's the area. This is saying right now the daily chart I'm looking at right now, and this horizontal area where we had points of contact here, a lot of action throughout it. This horizontal area. So at 42,000, we have a lot of action, and that's in that low. Oops, that's in that area where we had this massive support range right here, all the way from 42 down to 38. So I really don't think we go below this point. And I think by now a lot of these guys have moved their orders up. So I would say I don't think we might not even leave the 40Ks. I mean, and I think that would make sense because we're also 2 months out or so from the halving, right? And going sideways here, how bad can things actually get going into the halving other than some sort of black swan event? I don't really see us trending down for any significant period of time when we have every reason to be bullish. So I would say above 40K would be in my eyes a worst case scenario. Something happens. I still think we say above 40K. And when I say worst case scenario, that obviously excludes some sort of crazy news event that can shock the market, because we've seen fundamentals drive the market in the most absolutely destructive places. So yeah, I think we stay above 40K. I think up until the halving, I think we stay above 40K.
Okay, nice. Joe, what do you think about altcoin markets? Because now, and by the way, do you watch some altcoins on TRDR or order book overlays? Because it's completely different. When I try to watch even Ethereum, I need to like improve my settings, because of the volatility with liquidity. What do you think? How to take a look at altcoins? We call it altcoins in Russia.
All right, let's take a look
How
at
to
some
take a look at?
altcoins.
Yeah, please.
Let's just look at
how to improve TRDR if you're looking, for example, at, I don't know, Ethereum, other shitcoin. Do you need to improve it or change?
Yeah. I can do a little. I could show you a bit of what I would do. Let's just say, what I would do is I would tinker in the settings up here. I like to leave it to 100, but you can also drop this, and make your aggregate packs a little more dense. Um, so to me, I like to change a lot of my stuff over here. I can drop the sensitivity. Actually, let's do it over here. So I could add some color to this, add some color here, add some color here, and so forth. Let's do this. Let's do this orange. Let's do these orange. So these would be trade bands, right? So let's go down to 10. So this would be how I'm adjusting
Mhm.
a scenario where I'm looking for more orders, more trades that I can take, and let's do the same thing on the sell side. And the sell side tends to have less liquidity, right? There's generally more orders planted in on the buy side in crypto, especially Bitcoin and Ethereum and all these things. So let's just do this real quick. And let me just show you over here. Let's do this. The sell side would be, let's go back to red. I'm just kind of doing this as we go along. So this isn't going to be very neat, but yeah, this would be a scenario where I would now have more sensitive signals. It's picking up more data, right? More
Oh.
data. So at this point with when it's set to 100, each one of these represents a block of 5 units within a ratio, right, out of 100. So 1 through 20 out of 100, you would just divide 100 by 20. So each one of these represents 5 units of a ratio discrepancy. So that's how you would do the math to think this out and make sure that you're coloring the right areas, right? We just brought this down to almost a fair fight, just barely a fair fight, a slight dominance on one side or the other. So that's how I would adjust the signals, and you can see that obviously in a bull market, you don't really want to trust any sell signals. So fundamentals play a big factor, and technicals play a big factor into something like that. I think technicals really supplement the order book well, depending on the technical stuff you're looking at. Obviously, I side with Gigatrend. I think that's a fantastic algorithm, and there's a couple more that I might respect. But yeah, in a bull market, it would be the buy signals that you would really want to pick your trades. Obviously, there's been some sell signals here that might have gotten you a little bit of money. But yeah, so any indicator, any altcoin. I know you like Dash, right? What the heck?
Yeah.
Let me.
And by the way, that is it useful for
Mhm.
BTC pairings? I mean, how to improve settings if you're looking at ALTS BTC, because
Yeah.
there are different types of orders and it may be not enough liquidity in the market because really not very, a few traders trading ALTS BTC pairing nowadays,
Uh,
comparing 5 years ago even. Maybe. What do you think? Is it important now to take a look at order book analysis in BTC pairings or not?
Yeah, I always think it is. I think the order books, though, is probably the only real-time data you're ever going to have in a market. Every other bit of information that you have in a market is going to be lagging information. Even the news article, you're not going to be the first one to see a news article, and you're not the one that printed the news article. You're not the one that came up with the story. You're not the one that created the story. Obviously, the SEC were the first ones in on the ETF information, right? So that would probably mean some of these top dogs at BlackRock knew it was happening, right? They had the ticker symbol up maybe 2-3 weeks before the ETF was even granted. So I do think the order book is the most reliable real-time data source that you're ever going to get. So it doesn't matter if you're looking at, altcoin, shitcoin X, Bitcoin, whatever else it is. I think the order book is some of the most valuable data you'll get because it is real time. Now, that being said, what are most people using in order to make their buying and selling decisions? Most people are probably using technicals. So this is why it's also very important to have something like an algorithm. In my case, I'm using Gigatrend. I think it's important to have something that says, all right, I have a long bias right now on a technical perspective. Therefore, I should be ignoring my sell side signals. Maybe you get to a point where the book is really hitting a wall and you got to do some math, but that's a whole nother story. That's a matter of your discretion and how you've been trading your signals. or your strategy for however long. And usually you don't want to just jump into a strategy and start trading it that way. But yeah, you know, to me with the order book, um, with my discretionary tactics that I use, um, I would say if you have a reason to be long, let's say here's an example, right? We have a gigatrend long flash on Bitcoin daily chart. So my bias on Bitcoin, and this brings us into the trading competition, uh, got me in big trouble. My I ignored the bias, and that bias would have saved me, right? I think the trading competition started um, mid-February somewhere. Was it, you know, a couple weeks ago, earlier in February 1st, maybe even. I think it might have been February 1st. But, you know,
Yeah.
trading the signals. Uh-huh.
If we talk about same competition, started February 1st.
Yeah.
Yeah, our
So,
crypto.
you know, there was a handful of good trades in here, right? And you know, things started off okay for me, but I ignored when Gigatrend flashed the long. So let's see, that's February 1st when the trade comp started. I think I was sick a couple days and jumped in a little late. We got our long signal flash on the 9th, and you know, on the daily on the 4 hour, I think a bit earlier. So I ignored that, and I ended up getting crushed. You know, the fucking signal, you know, we started moving up and all these sell signals were just completely annihilated. Even for a scalp. So these lines are actually where I started placing my short positions. So this was February 7th. A couple days later, there we go, blowing the roof off the top here, and you know, now it's settling in with heavy overhead resistance 48K. And in addition to this, I mean, we went higher, you know, we went higher. And that just goes to show you, like, you really need to be able to have a trend bias indicator that you can truly trust. So, yeah, trade comp wise, I was playing with some heavy risk, and I ended up getting burned. So, yeah, you know, on to the next one, trading comps. So I like to do a lot of trading comps. To me, I'd rather do, I trade with a trading competition is supposed to teach you something, and it teaches you how to trade with pressure, trade under pressure. And you know, so I like to use lower capital and higher risk in a trading competition. So yeah, and we can obviously talk more about that. I know that it's been going on for some time now. I hope you won't be burned out for the next one. We'll probably be starting up in another week and a half or
Yeah,
so.
you know, we were talking today on our Russian stream. We were talking about P&L calculation, this competition, because a lot of people went minus than 100%, and sometimes it calculates like your how it, like your net worth of your deposit. If you increase the amount of your deposit, it will count it again, like all your amount. But in this competition, you should read in the rules that they count like your initial deposit at start. So if your deposit was like $100,
$100.
then then you deposit 500. So like you minus, and you lose it all. You're minus 600% from initial
Yeah, exactly.
deposits.
What a lot of people will do is deposit $100, trade, get liquidated or something. That's your negative 100. They deposit another $100, and
Mhm.
then relative to that first $100, let's say they get liquidated on the second one, it's negative 200. So all the P&L calculations are legit. It's just a matter of what someone's doing, you know, behind the scenes, because all we're looking at are usernames here. But yeah, I've seen people trade with funny enough, man, I've seen trade volume go up into the hundreds of thousands with someone that had negative 1,400%. So this person must have been liquidated like a many times, you know. So yeah, I think trading competitions are pretty funny in that sense. You know, I always tell people, look, if we're trading in a competition, let's make sure we're staying in touch. And for example, in my Discord group, what we do is you know, I'll show up in the voice chat there and just make sure everyone has a couple hours a day where they can just say, hey, you know, this is what I'm doing, you know, how you know, and someone like me with a lot of experience can say, hey, this is, you know, on the right side
Yeah,
of
me also. I'm doing it in Telegram, but you do it in Discord.
okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, Discord community. So please subscribe to Joe SAS Analytica Discord also. And I'm also trying. I will do Discord later because you know in Russian spoken segment, Telegram is much more like popular and more useful. So that's why we
Yeah.
pumping Telegram group. But anyway,
Telegram
yeah,
is
guys.
making. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
feel free to subscribe in Telegram and Discord also for all channels, because it's like free education, crypto education for you. What are you saying, Joe? Sorry.
No, and Telegram is kind of opening up a few things as well. Don't they have group voice chats and stuff like that?
I think they have.
Yeah,
At least
I'm
we,
pretty
we
sure it's going.
yeah, we are leaving like audio messages, and yeah, they have voice chats, but we do not um like did voice chats. We just deliver audio messages. Anyways, it's more fast than YouTube. You know, you can't go live every time or every signal, or you can't prepare video, but you can write some words in Telegram or Discord. So it's much more fast and useful
Yeah,
communication.
yeah. Yeah, we have bots running too. So whenever one of our signals flashes a long or a close or whatever, it's just the bot runs the text straight to Discord. So I like that. You know, we got to use the technology to make it easier for us and everyone else. We could be driving while a signal flashes along, and we need to make sure everyone gets it quickly. But one thing I don't know if you can see here, but it looks like another guest here, another special human being has joined the chat.
Wow.
Should I jump
What's
off
up,
the screen
Joe?
share? Yo,
Is
what's
it
up,
really?
Tone?
Yeah. Is it really Tone? Hi, Tone again. We
I'm gonna drop
just
screen share.
we just saw each other on recent stream on Russian channel. Nice to see you here. I just continue my English channel. Recently, I like make the revival. 3 years there was no English CryptoCommons channel. Now it is. So nice to see you here with Joe, and maybe you guys can like do some TA and share some knowledge with my audience. I think it's pretty much Russian spoken audience still, but
Yeah.
anyway, together we can pump it worldwide. So
Yeah,
guys,
what's up,
thank
guys? I mean, I was just on your channel a few hours ago, right? So if I repeat everything I said in Russian and English, I mean, some of your audience may get bored. So I will keep it fairly short. I was on Joe's channel not that long ago, so thanks for having
Yeah.
me on, Joe. I'm
Yeah, dude.
I'm hanging out with with ДИСКЛЭЙМЕR here in Miami,
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah, we're making plans because we have another mutual friend over in Wisconsin. So
No
we're
way.
trying to, make some plans to meet up in at Lake Satoshi in Michigan, and then we'll drive over to see you guys in Wisconsin, and then we'll keep driving over to his lake house in Minnesota. So it'll be a fun little drive through the upper Midwest.
Yeah, dude. That sounds awesome. I hope you make it.
All right,
Always got a
let me
place to,
jump on
yeah.
screen share real quick. I actually, when I
you.
came online here, I came on just in time to hear Joe mention that once the price started taking off here around February 7th, it looks like your indicators were flashing bearish signals. And sounds like you took on some bearish trades that didn't work out. Did I get that correct? That you were saying that just as I joined?
The order book was flashing bearish signals. Correct.
Right. And for me, February 7th, well, more like February 8th, kicked off my MRI trend coming off, an MRI buy indication back at the end of January, some consolidation, and then breaking above the realistic consolidated high. This was more, ETF FOMO, but the realistic consolidated high I had at 40, looks like 44,000, 44, let's go with 44,000. And just as we were breaking that on February 8th with the green star candle, that kicked off my MRI trend. So I was bullish all through this trend. And even though I was doing some stupid stuff in my daily trading contest against Matt McGregor, in my real, live trading account, I was 100% long with my entire account. And then I took 25% profit right here on February 15th on the MRI top. And we still have not broken out with a green star candle. And that's what I'm waiting for now. We may pull back as low as, 49 or so. But right now I am leaning bearish, very short term. but the moment we break above this consolidated high set at 52,500, I think one more big leg is coming.
Funny enough, you say 49. I was thinking the exact same thing. I think 49K is probably it. If we even make it there that far. Right now, 50s, the 51K is probably our most significant wall. In the low 50s, the book thickens up. So yeah, I'm really liking that 49 call. I'm glad we're on the same page there. So
All right.
yeah,
Well, that was mostly what I wanted to say. On a bigger term picture, I was looking for a slightly bigger pullback off of the MRI top the week of January 8th, the week of the ETF announcement. Also on my channel, where I do videos pretty much every day between the Financial Summit YouTube channel and my personal, I took 75% out of my bullish position in my retirement account that trades Bitcoin ETFs, and I took pretty much everything off right before the big dump, mostly because of this MRI. I took that MRI seriously, just like I took the daily MRI seriously about a week ago, and I expected us to pull back a little bit further down into 37.5. Just missed it by one candle, and I expected us to go up a little bit slower. I expected us to be in this box between 52,500 and 57,500, but I expected us to get there on the weekly MRI buy, which is still 2 months away, actually, or 6 weeks away, so a month and a half away. I didn't think we would go up that fast, but we did, thanks to all the Bitcoin being absorbed by the ETFs. And for the ETFs, I keep track of the numbers myself. And the numbers on the ETFs is GBTC has sold 166,000 Bitcoin since the start. And most of the people that sold it did it to rotate into a better ETF than GBTC, mostly because they are cheaper to maintain. So if you hold GBTC for an entire year, you will lose 1.5%. If you hold BlackRock for an entire year, you're only going to lose 0.25%. That is a massive difference. If you're holding $1 million position, losing 1.5% is a lot of money. That's almost a Lambo. But losing 0.25%, that's a little tiny used car. So that's it's a big difference there. Maybe not almost a Lambo, but I'm joking. But it is a lot. 1.5% on $1 million. That's gonna be what, $15,000, something like that. That's 15 grand. Yeah. If you're only 10 million, now we're talking Lambos. But 15,000 versus what, 1/6 of that. 15,000 versus say 2,000 is a big difference in fees. And all these other ETFs, while GBTC sold 166,000 in Bitcoin, all the other ETFs combined purchased 273,000. And that's as of Friday. It's now more than that. That's a net gain of 107,000 Bitcoin. And that's been impressive. And that's what's been driving the market up over the last few weeks. We're slowing down this week, so I don't think the gap is going to be as big this week as it was in the last 2 weeks.
Very interesting tone. I listened to it twice already today in Russian and English. This is the special info, exclusive info from Tone Base about ETF. So, what do you think about other markets, Tone, or Bitcoin?
I was very surprised by Nvidia. Like, look, if somebody wants crazy volatility, find a way to trade Nvidia. Nvidia was an absolute monster. On my channel, leading into the earnings call, I was not bullish on Nvidia. I felt that Nvidia has gone up so much leading into the earnings announcement that I thought it would be unlikely that NVIDIA would go up even with an earnings beat. And they did beat earnings. They beat it reasonably, not that different than they beat it the prior time. If you look at earnings from the last set, they beat it by 19% on earnings and 12% on revenue. And the market did not go up. In fact, the market pulled back. Then the market rose like crazy. So I expected for NVIDIA to go up more. It needed to substantially beat by higher percentages. And it did not. It beat by 12, not 19, and it beat by 8, not 12. So even though NVIDIA beat earnings, I figured that this massive run-up already factored that in. But I was clearly wrong, and NVIDIA rallied like crazy. I'm not holding NVIDIA. I would never hold a stock in earnings unless it's a direction neutral trade. I am holding Tesla, a recent new trade that I made, and Tesla's doing well.
Yeah, Tesla is doing opposite. What do you think of Tesla?
I think Tesla is undervalued quite a bit. I mean, Tesla has been going down for a while. Tesla's peak was back here, and Tesla had a huge low. Tesla was down like 80% at the lows last year. It was down 70%, nope, 75%. Tesla is still down 50% when the market is at a new all-time high. Tesla's a big lagger. Now, I'm always going 50-50 on Tesla, but I happen to be at a friend's place who's not only a Tesla driver, a major Tesla investor, a Tesla technology and software beta tester, that he pays Tesla to test it. Like usually companies have to pay you to test their stuff. No, not in this case. You have to pay Tesla to be a proper beta tester because that's how you, which is good actually, because how else are you going to take it seriously? And this guy lives and breathes Tesla, not just the cars, but the entire business. And I've been watching some analytical videos on Tesla. And yeah, I'm starting to understand why Tesla is a general technology company that will have lots of revenue streams and not just their cars. And yeah, I think Tesla is a decent play here. So I picked some up with some option trades. These are not meant to be long-term trades, but I can always, what do you call them? Oh, what's the word I'm looking for here? I could like reset the trade, right? So options do have time decay. I am biased in the long direction with a bit of a hedge. And if the Tesla keeps going up in my direction, I will just roll the trade over into options with further expirations. And earnings is still far away. I don't plan to hold it during earnings. I will be exiting before earnings, reevaluating earnings for a few days after, and then choosing my positions accordingly. All right, if there's any other questions to throw at me, otherwise I'll give it back to Joe.
You're muted right now, Greeny. Greeny, you're muted, brother. Yeah, so Tone, I mean, I don't really...
Yeah, now you should hear me. So, what do you think of what do you think about US dollar, not against assets, but not against other currencies? I mean, DXY. Are you bullish on DXY still, Tone?
I am still bullish on DXY. It looks like this week has been a bit of a pullback. We're still on a positive MRI count. I'm still bullish DXY. I'm surprised DXY is this low. DXY hit a top in October of 2022. I'm still expecting a new all-time high in DXY. DXY is mostly measured against Western currencies, and the euro dominates it. I am very bearish on the euro itself. Euro versus the dollar, I am absolutely bearish on. Again, a currency I'm very surprised is still valued higher than the dollar. Yeah, so I remain bearish on the euro and bullish on the dollar.
Nice. Thank you, Tom, for your TA. I already know what you said about gold, so I will not ask you.
Gold's not interesting. I spend about 30 seconds on gold every day. Gold is in a very bullish pattern, but doesn't have any volatility. I think gold is headed to 3,000 over the next few years, but it's gonna move slowly.
Yeah, it's boring. It's gonna be boring. And what are your levels? Are you watching like next levels on gold if it pumps 3,000?
I'm just bullish to approximately 3,000. There are no levels because gold is at a new all-time high. And when a market is at a new all-time high, there's very few indicators. There's very few targets you can set. Now, of course, my favorite is going to be the MRI. Here's the weekly MRI top at the last all-time high of gold that took place in August of 2020. Now, this spike did not come with an MRI top. We did get a warning candle a couple of weeks later. We did have an MRI top over here, but that wasn't a brand new all-time high. So once we kick off the big bullish trend, I will just wait for MRI tops. The only other indication of a target would be something like a Fibonacci projection. So if we do the overall bear market, break to new highs would create the very first level of gold. Target is at about 2,500, and beyond that, we're at 3,300. Now, the Fibonacci is a little tough to draw here. You could also draw the Fibonacci from the more recent top to the pullback of the handle instead of using the older high. And now, if we adjust it a bit and make it nice and clean, we will have another set of projections. And the very first projection comes in at 2,300. So just these are my targets, but I don't like to set targets. I just like to know my risk. And the risk on gold to the downside is very low. Very, very low. You have moving averages are moving nicely, and I don't expect much downside in gold.
Especially when it breaks all-time high. It's like open space. But you remember, Tom, Bitcoin also broke all-time high at 69K and then dumped. So yeah, I'm also bullish on gold, so appreciate your TA. What do you think, Joe, about gold?
Just looking at the chart, I mean, my observation was it looks a little kind of, even though you need a cup and handle needs to look a little more clean than all that. I kind of see a little bit of a cup and handle in there. So I'm just thinking I think it all depends on what happens to the dollar. Every time gold's done the most work, it's when people have had the least faith in the economy, the American economy. So I would say, and this to me is a very interesting year. I think this is probably one of the most interesting years that I've ever been alive, and there's a lot of things that could go wrong. So I think with all those things that could go very wrong, there's a strong possibility that gold moves up. So obviously, I think gold has the potential to move to the upside, more so than the downside. And Tone, knows very well I'm a big silver fan myself. I think silver is heavily undervalued. So I'm more interested in silver personally. I think silver being where it is relative to its all-time high is a strong case of an irrational market. And so I care more about silver, which has actually just been doing a lot of really just sideways stuff, So I think we really need something bad to hit the economy. Well, we don't, in order for those things to perform well. So
Tom, can we see a silver to gold ratio? Your favorite chart, silver to gold. It's like it will look like, I don't know, Litecoin to Bitcoin.
Yeah, probably. It's probably getting worse, huh?
So you are waiting. You are a silver bull, Joe. You are waiting silver to gold pump, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Silver to
Yo,
dollar pump.
Joe's not joking. I personally drove to his house and sold him my silver bars.
Yeah, I like.
Yeah, cool.
Uh,
What do you think, by the way, about stable coins? I don't know. I'm not sure about silver, but I'm pretty sure about PAX-G. You know, Paxos Standard Gold stable coin. I'm personally telling my audience, if you do not want to sit in USDT, like if you want to sell some of your position, like at high, you can go to PAX-G, like gold, like crypto gold, and stay here for some time, then buy Bitcoin cheaper. What do you think about these stable coins, guys?
My personal take, which is pretty quick here. If my faith is that wobbly in something like a stable coin, then I'm just going to go open up a no lev short. If I really feel like I need to preserve the dollar value of my Bitcoin, I'll move $10,000 worth of Bitcoin to the exchange, open up a $10,000 short, zero liquidation price, and I'm collecting funding fees. So to me,
Mm.
that's I don't even I wouldn't even think about a stable coin if I'm worried about the stability of something like Tether, which has been questionable for the past, whatever, 8 years or something. So that's my quick take. What are you thinking, Tone?
uh, I mean, I don't really think about stable coins, so I don't really. I mean, look, if you don't want to hold Bitcoin, I recommend Tether as your next best option. I don't
Yeah,
really know much about the rest.
Yeah,
yeah, I'm the
there's
same.
no liquidity on these stable coins, even on some USD equivalents. But anyway, what do you think about gold silver ratio, Tom? It's interesting.
Uh, yeah, I mean, I've been a huge well, bull on gold and bear on silver, and my new target is the break of the all-time high in the gold silver ratio. That ratio broke 100 for the first time in history. It used to top out just under 100. That's what it was back in the 40s, and that's what it reached in 1991. And for the first time in history, well, in trading view history since the 30s,
Mhm.
gold was valued more than 100 times silver. And I've been on record for close to a decade now that this ratio will be reaching 200. I think gold will continue to separate from silver. That doesn't mean that silver can't double in price at
Mhm.
some point in the near future. While gold only goes up 50%, silver can go up 100%. But as you extend the timeline towards 2030, I think the ratio is going to get blown out. And that's because people are going to treat gold like money, but I don't think they're going to treat silver like money. I think there is the current, unless the internet goes out. So as long as our modern technology is working, I think silver is going to lose its monetary premium, which is why I've been bullish on the gold silver ratio to go higher. You do get occasional anomalies, but even this crazy anomaly did not set a new low. And the next anomaly did not break this low. And I'm really, really curious when gold pops to 3,000, how high will silver go? I would be very surprised if silver breaks the $50 high. Remember, when gold hit 2000 in 2011, gold more than doubled its 1980 all-time high. Silver only double topped. And I think when gold goes to 3,000, silver will triple top, and then it will pull back and make a giant cup and handle. I really don't think silver is going to break out above $50 until like 2028 or 2030. Unless the dollar goes into hyperinflation, we'll
Yeah.
see.
Tone knows enough about me to know I'm kind of a doomsday, mentality type at times. So my silver holding is more exactly nail on the head what Tone said. Something bad happens, worse than we've ever had before, right? In modern times. And I think again, this is a very interesting year to me. If anything was to go down, I think it's going to happen sooner than later. So it's a bet that I'm willing to make, but I have more bullets than I have silver, and so silver is almost like the least of my worries. I just think that's an easy thing to exchange. If I go to a farmer for some eggs and butter and steak or whatever, that's more of what I think about silver. But I do I like your technical outlook, Tony. I do think silver does certainly have that doubling potential relative to gold's doubling potential. But in addition to that, yeah, I'm definitely thinking that there's enough things going on in the world right now that it would be unwise to have a few things ready to roll in case shit hit the fan, right? You want to have some waters in your garage. You want to have some bottled water. You want to have some cans of tuna or something. And yeah, have some freaking have some silver, gold, bullets, guns. Have everything that you need to last a month, right?
Yeah, Joe, I want to see some gold-plated guns and silver bullets next time I'm over.
Yeah, sounds good. I do have some custom pieces, but I don't have the bullets to covered in gold yet.
Yeah, really cool. I just happened to spot an MRI top here in silver on a weekly scale, actually, in silver on
Oh, damn, that
the
was high.
1980 all-time high. This was a
Damn.
major manipulation of the market by the Hunt brothers as well to try to manipulate the silver market. And man, what a beautiful call by the MRI. Absolutely awesome. I was hoping to
Yeah.
see that in gold as well, but it was not in 1980. The MRI did beautifully call gold top in 2011, the secondary top.
Crazy.
Yeah. Oh, it looks like it did it in silver as well. Oh no, so I thought it was that. Nope. Yeah, but if it calls one, it calls the other.
Yeah, it's crazy. Guys,
They are
talking about
correlated.
precious metals, what do you think about platinum gold ratio? Platinum always used to be like more like platinum status, platinum cards. Platinum used to be higher, but now it's cheaper than gold. Maybe it's like safe long. What do you think, Tom?
Yeah, platinum has not been a fan favorite, but again, I think the reason for this is because gold is still treated as de facto money. Gold still has a monetary premium. Things like silver and platinum do not. So when platinum goes up in price, it's just easy to mine more platinum, and it doesn't have that monetary premium. And if the rappers aren't buying platinum chains, there's really not that much use for it. Now, palladium, on the other hand, whoa, palladium has some very good industrial usage. I'm actually surprised that palladium has been down all year. I have not paid attention to this asset. It's not something I invest in, but I didn't think palladium would be down this much, but it is. I've heard a lot of things about palladium.
Maybe it's by the dips soon on it.
Yeah, maybe, because it was doing really, really well between 2016 and 2021. It was at a new all-time high. That's how I remember it. It's been a long time since I looked at it. You can see palladium made its high in 2001. It broke it in 2018 and went significantly higher and topped in 2022. If we compare that to gold, this is the monthly chart of gold. Now, gold did not, I mean, gold started rising in 2016 as well, but not like palladium did. Gold just, went up a lot during the pandemic. And 2019 and 2020, the beginning of the pandemic, because people were nervous as to what's going to happen next. So everyone kind of huddled into gold. And but palladium started rallying way earlier and significantly faster. I'm a little surprised, but right now, Palladium, it's back into the vicinity. Oh, wrong button. No, I have to hold shift. It's back in this vicinity of the prior swing low. It actually broke it to the downside, something I don't like seeing. But if it reverses and consolidates here at 1,000, moving averages catch up and start to flip over, that could be a beautiful buy to dip. It's got, it looks like it's down 75%. Wow. I should take a look at this in more detail.
Yeah, this is looking pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying, let me zoom in. Let me see some MRI timing mechanisms here. We're on a weekly chart. We finished off some extensions, got a green star candle. Any MRIs on a monthly? Yeah, there it is. Next month is the second consecutive MRI top, and we are on a reversal candle. This could be promising. I got to check out some ETFs. I don't really trade futures anymore. I just don't want to stress myself out like that. But I'm gonna take a look at some ETFs here, and I'm gonna see the latest in platinum. I remember its biggest use case was for air pollution and clean up air pollution in countries like China and other parts of Southeast Asia, to use palladium in air filters, which was going to be a huge use case. Yeah. Yeah, very surprised that it's down this much. Something to definitely keep an eye on.
Yeah, very interesting. And I don't know where to trade. For where you trade this kind of you said
brokers probably.
Yeah, maybe brokers. Because I know about my Russian or Ukraine audience, they can't trade it. I think.
Yeah, there's got to be some shady fucking Bitcoin Palladium exchange pair on some Eastern European,
We call it kitchens in Russia.
There used to be one. Okay.
Very well, Tom. What do you think about shitcoins before you stop your screen sharing? Maybe, I don't know. Even BTC dominance. I know that you're a permanent bull on Bitcoin, but anyway, maybe some.
Ethereum is actually on a monthly MRI buy opportunity, making a low last month. So this has a little bit of promise. On a weekly chart, it is sitting right at resistance. So let's see if it can crack resistance. It's right now, it's on a declining trend line. You have a moving average, which has already rejected Ethereum, not just once, but twice. You have the MRI resistance line, and the breakout is so much higher that it actually has room to go up without altering the bearish trend. So the weekly trend is definitely down, even though short term with this monthly MRI buy is making Ethereum a little bit bullish. Daily scale looks like we just had an MRI top in Ethereum versus Bitcoin. I think Ethereum looks toppy here, but it can go a little bit higher before reversing. I think of all of the common shitcoins, the one that has the one that I used to say looks the most bullish, and I've been saying it for a while, was Solana. But as we discussed on the Russian version of your channel, Solana just lost very critical support, and I am no longer bullish on Solana either. There's really not much. I did call a top in Cardano with the MRI here. When this was happening at the end of last year, I said this high could potentially never be broken in the future history of Cardano. And BNB was in trouble as well. BNB's got a shot here. If it can rally above this resistance of MRI resistance line plus moving average, plus the break of this swing high from last month, and BNB's got a shot. But on a bigger picture, BNB broke very critical support, and now it backtested it and got rejected. So it's got lots of downside pressure as well, even though it's on the verge of a breakout if it can go a little bit higher. But everything else to me is very, very bearish. especially Litecoin and Monero.
Yeah, thanks. And Joe, what do you think about these names?
Like, you know, BNB, Litecoin, Monero, and all that stuff. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
did you?
still think the bull market for the shitcoin, you know, stuff that needs to happen, man. Bitcoin's already at 51, you know, topped out at 50 something K, right? And a lot of things are still scraping the bottom or still trending down. So I think this is a really interesting situation here. I'm really curious about this overall bull market scenario, but yeah, I think it's I think a lot of whatever it is, they're due for an uptick, and as trash as half of these, you know, 99% of them are, I still think they're due for an uptick, you know. So I'm just curious as to what's going on, but clearly we're so close to the halving, and whatever parabolic trend will transpire shortly after that, you know, we're probably 6 months to 9 months out from a lot of these things, you know, really kicking off, you know, really kicking off and doing some irrational things, you know, irrational upside moves,
Yeah,
100% in a day, and you know what I mean.
we didn't see anything yet in this season, and we have halving in 2 months or closer. Yeah, like in 2 months, I think, approximately. Which will, as we discussed with Tone on the Russian channel, like a few hours ago, Tone said that yeah, we can easily grow up until the halving and set a new high and maybe even new high on Bitcoin. But then we have correction, and we're experiencing time correction instead of price correction. So
Right.
right.
I expected us to be in the vicinity of 52.5 to 57.5 within 2 to 3 weeks before the halving, and then pull back with the halving. But if we pull back now and we're sitting in the $40,000 range going into the halving, I think we're gonna pump at the halving and through the halving, and there will not be a post-halving dip.
Yeah, it depends
Yeah.
on closest price action. I
Right. Depends
agree.
on how we get to the halving. We're still 2 months away.
Yeah. And
I will
also
be in El Salvador. I will be in El Salvador for the halving party. It's the first week of April. I think it's going to be before the halving, and halving might take place at BitBlock Boom, which is in the middle of April. And if not, I'll be in Dubai. So if anyone is watching from Dubai, I'll be in Dubai April 15th to about April 24th.
will you go live as in at previous halving 4 years ago?
I don't know. I might. I gotta
Oh,
start working. I gotta start telling people now. That was an epic stream.
that was one
I'm
of the
tempted to
greatest
do it
streams,
again
man.
on the Financial Summit YouTube channel.
It was legendary stream. If you don't see, guys, find it and have a look. It's
Yeah,
called like halving stream or something like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I smoked like 8 cigars. I was there the whole time. You must have been live at least 12 hours, and I think I got in early and I left late. Man, it was like there
I
was,
think I was live for 12 hours. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that
yeah,
was incredible. I think there was like 100 guests or more. Like at the time
probably
it was like
throughout the
six.
course.
Yeah, yeah. It was a lot of screens. Yeah, I remember I even translate something to my channel. I was live also and was translating like 1 hour or so, some guests and sharing with Russian audience. It was amazing time. So maybe we can do it again in 2 months. Yeah, let me share my screen also, guys, to you and to audience quickly, and say a few words. What I think, Joe, we all talk, yeah, about this sell signals on TRDR, but long term, if we zoom out, I was telling my audience about this time corrections, which Tom mentioned, and I explained that, for example, this was also time correction when this 20K or maybe 18K in the end of 2017, it was like very overpriced Bitcoin, because at the same year it was like below 1,000. It was really below 1,000 in the beginning of this bull run. So this 20K was very, very overheated, you know, overbought. But this 20K, it was the bottom because it was like time correction. It was 1, 2, 3, 4 year cycle. So now we're seeing this, but it's like fractal. So yeah, now it's Bitcoin looking very bullish for me on bigger time frame because we're bouncing from our support from this EMA ribbon. Yeah, it's looking very bullish, but I don't know. I personally think when we can even break all-time high like in this 2 months or so, because we see it on the stock market already on pretty much everything except Tesla painting all-time highs. So why not? Bitcoin is not far away. We need to pump how much? 30%. 30% pump. We saw it in Bitcoin history. So yeah, I'm not saying this will happen for sure, but I will not be surprised if I see a new all-time high in 2 months. But let's see. Of course, everyone's waiting for correction now, so that's what's scaring me. Maybe maybe we'll not see it too fast. And also, guys, about our trading competition, Joe, did you saw the results of? Wow, I'm impressed.
Fuck.
Sam Shot. You know who is it? It is girl. It is girl trader from our community. And she is trading with 21 like guys 21,000. It's 200x, 210x.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well
That's
done.
crazy. Sam Shot, if you're watching us, please stop trading. You, I think you're pretty much
taking out all our
what
money.
What assets are you allowed to trade?
Withdraw. Please tell us what assets to trade.
USDT perpetuals. So you can trade like Solana USDT and whatever else USDT. Bitcoin, obviously, you know, whatever the USDT pair that's offered.
Yeah,
well, about how many different pairs are offered? Like
quite a few. Okay. It's like too long to like list. It's like all of them, like basically, you know.
Yeah, it's pretty much new exchange as I understood, but it's already on like 20 in coin market cap. It's already has big liquidity. It has some inverse contracts, but trading competition counts only USDT perpetual. So it's Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, XRP, Solana, pretty much every popular coin from top 100. You know, Link, Doge. Yeah. So
there's our pay.
we don't know what exactly they trade, but yeah, Sam Shot made 200x.
That's so
already.
fucking amazing. Yeah, dude.
On that.
Sure.
And yeah, guys, you can still join competition. It's 7 days left, I think. Yeah, it's 6 days left already. And no minimum deposit requirement, no KYC, brain fucking, we call it in Russian brain fucking. I don't know how you call it in American.
No brain fucking. I like that.
So yeah, you can join easily, even if you trade only with $10 or $100. It's really pretty much simple. I will leave the link. I think there is no link in this channel because it's English channel. I should reorganize.
You got the link up below your video. You got the link below your video to DeepCoin.
Yeah, so we need to also to send add link to competition. I will do it after stream.
And this was just our first competition too. The next one, we're gonna have more time to prepare. We're gonna do it right. You know, this was just like get it going and have fun. You know, so next one we're gonna have fun, man.
Yeah, cool. And DeepCoin is pretty much cool exchange. I'm using it personally now. I like it. It's very similar to Bybit, but sometimes it's it's still improving. Like if you don't like something or you experience some issues, you can leave a message. We will try to solve it ASAP. Right?
Yeah. One thing you can do that I recommend is switch that order book aggregate. Switch the top to the right to the far right. Where it says 0.1.
I understood.
Yeah, move that. Yeah, do like 1 or 10.
Yeah.
I personally do 10. Yeah, this is like, because you know enough about the order book now. This is actually a
Yeah.
great way to learn about the difference between spot markets and spot books and perpetuals books. So yeah, this is really important. Look how the dominance is growing and just shifting constantly, man. So many dynamic participants, and you got a much more broad view here. But yeah, neither here nor there.
All right, guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get going. Have fun.
Thank
Hang
you,
out,
Tom.
and yeah,
Yeah,
and
guys.
Joe, I'll see you soon.
Yeah,
Thank you
Tune.
very much,
Much
Tom.
love, man. Tone, I actually
Really?
needed to tell you.
Oh
I'm gonna
yeah,
message you.
on live or off live. And Greeny, I may come to Argentina next month. I'll let you know.
Wow, that's great. Send me a message though.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see each other.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just message you because it's not related to crypto, but it's fucking. You'll be happy about this.
Sounds good. DM me. Later, guys.
Later, brother.
Okay, I think maybe we should also wrap it
Yeah.
up soon. What do you think? Yeah, so you will not try to win this competition. You're like, you will wait for the other and start from
You know,
scratch, right?
we can have a whole show and 3 shows just about trading competitions, but I'll tell you what first and most importantly, I made mistakes when I was not in the right state of mind. I was kind of sick and I started trading and I made mistakes that got me in trouble, right? And then the second most important thing that you need to realize as a trader is you can't do anything. You can't let one mistake turn to 2. So there's half that, and the other half is like, I don't want a revenge trade, because now my purpose to trade would be to try to come out of the hole and then beat someone, right? So it's like you never want to trade just a revenge trade, and that's effectively what I would be doing right now based on some bad decisions that I already made. So I have the potential of really increasing my losses, right? So right now, I'm just practicing the money management element of the psychological part of trading, which is never revenge trade, and just we're gonna do more competitions. So it's like
Yeah,
what would yeah.
otherwise it's gambling if you if you do
100%.
so. Yeah, that's good advice for maybe for new traders or for some who has still. Yeah, I also spoke about that. It's important, and I think you also on previous show you told the audience that it's important. Like the best trade is no trade, and to be in not position, it's like better than to be in a loss. So use stop losses, guys, and manage your risk. Yeah, I think we should end.
Yeah, let's wrap
So
it up.
feel free to join competition. We'll add links and subscribe to guys' channels if you didn't do so. Guys, thanks for watching. Everyone who do not understand, все, кто не понимает, who are from Russian channel, please unsubscribe, because we need to pump YouTube algorithms. We need to pump it to only English American spoken audience. Thank you. Joe. Yeah, it's really,
thanks so much.
really hard. Yeah, it's really hard, but we will do so. I know that we will break YouTube algorithms. So please unsubscribe if you don't understand. Joe, thank you, and see you soon. I hope maybe on your channel as well. Tom's.
We'll do it again soon. I took a little break. I haven't streamed for like a week, man, so I need to get active. So help me get off my ass and jump on my channel soon here, maybe tomorrow or the next day or something.
Yeah, me too. For me, it's a pleasure, and have a good night or a nice day where you're watching from.
Yeah.
See you soon.